And we're going live. Always make sure it's starting before. Okay, let's see. We've got Ralph Baxter. Okay, here comes everyone. Good morning. I'm watching audio connect, so I will just kind of wait just a brief moment and let all those audio systems connect themselves. And if you'll just stay muted, that will help with the feedback noise. Good morning. My name is Judge Person. I do welcome everybody to Temple Municipal Court. I want to thank everyone for their time ahead of time. And I will begin court now. This is real court, even though we're online, even though you get to be in a little more comfortable position, not sitting in the courtroom waiting and waiting and waiting. But we do want to just ask your respect with in terms of time and the rules that we sent out and just the visual that you're putting forth. It helps, okay? And it also helps visually connect because the reality is that we communicate with so much more than sound. Now, there are folks who don't have capacity to do that, and I see a few people logged on phone, and I'll address that in just a moment. I do want to let you know a few things before we get started. It's really helpful, in my opinion, if you have some education and you have the basic tools. So I want to let you know that when you're given a ticket or issued a citation, those are all methods for accusing someone. That's what it is. It is an accusation. And when you give a plea, you're giving an answer or response to that accusation. And there are three options for pleading: guilty, not guilty, and no contest. Now, we're all presumed to be not guilty. And we change that if we plead guilty or no contest. But the assumption is that the person is up front, is that the person is not guilty. And the three options of pleading, guilty, not guilty, and no contest, all three of those will take their own direction. And what I want to do is just let you know the direction that your plea will take you, okay? And then the options that you have along the way, okay? So if you plead guilty or no contest, generally speaking, we just move right into sentencing. If you plead not guilty, we move that case toward the contested docket. And that docket is meeting today. There are two settings at that point that we do. The first one is a Zoom meeting, and that's meeting today. And the second is a live meeting in the court for anything that is still pending at that point. So if you plead guilty or no contest, we go to sentencing, and I'll talk about that in a moment. If you plead not guilty, we start scheduling the pretrial process because we all have the right to plead or just to confirm that not guilty plea and then move that case toward trial and have a jury hear the case, okay? Sentencing options are available when we're sentencing, and that's on the guilty or no contest docket. So those who are here for the pretrial docket, and they're both here today, we have a short docket today. One is Walter Huggins, and the other is Aliana Diab. And we'll be right with you, both of you, shortly, okay? The other thing that I want to tell you is that if you plead guilty or no contest, I move into sentencing. Now, if you've already entered a plea and it's been accepted and a finding has been made, finding you guilty, well, I'm just working on your case with you today. If a plea has not yet been entered, then I will ask for your plea. And if you plead guilty or no contest, I'm going to move into sentencing. At that point, we have payment options, okay? There's a 30-day payment option, and then there's a payout option. And in both instances, the two things you need to know is I need a form to get filled out to approve those. And the second thing I need to tell you is that if it's over 30 days to pay it, there's a one-time fee of $15 that gets added per case. But otherwise, it's not like we charge interest. But we put you on a payment plan. If you agree to something like a payment plan and you find you can't meet the obligation, sometimes, unfortunately, people can agree to something like that and then lose their job or have a tragedy hit that they financially get into a bad position. If we don't know about that, we can't make any adjustments. So just keep in mind there's an ongoing duty, there is with all cases, to keep in touch with us, communicate, and either do what you said you would do or talk to me or a staff member, a clerk, about the problem. And we'll see if we have options available to make adjustments, okay? But if I don't know, if the clerks don't know, we wouldn't make any adjustments. We would just, it just then looks like someone who has blown it off, basically. And the consequence to that is you start heading to warrant. And we actually would prefer not to do that. It's more work, but we'll be happy to do that work. But we'd rather, not put you in that position. We don't really put you in that position. You put yourself in that position if you don't follow up, okay? So communicate. We take letters, we take faxes, we take email, and we take online Zoom meetings. We do those things. But we can't do them if we can't reach you or if you're not communicating back. We send letters. The law authorizes that we send letters to you. Sometimes we try to call if we have the time to do that. But the real solution is reach out, okay? And if you send something like a letter, just check, make sure we got it. Call us and see, did my letter get there? Are we staying on track? Another reason to do that, and I told you there are 4 ways, or I haven't said that yet. When you plead guilty or no contest, there's still 4 ways to gain a dismissal. And almost all of them go down to the fact that you've got to be on time to court. So if you miss court, you can miss options that really help you, okay? So let's talk about that real quickly. The 4 ways to gain a dismissal in a Class C court in Texas, okay? And this is a Class C court, and we're in Texas, wherever you might be. The 4 ways to gain the dismissal are compliance dismissals, driver safety course options, deferred dispositions, and teen court. Now, let me tell you what those are. Compliance dismissals, those are things that can be brought up to date and dismissed. And obviously, a dismissal with a compliance, that's going to probably be your least expensive deal. So I'll be looking to see if any of your cases meet those requirements. And I might ask you some questions because the law is clear that I'm supposed to check on that when I'm talking to you on a plea of guilty or no contest, okay? Those are usually equipment, expiration, expired tags, things like that, okay? And you can ask me, but I'm not going to wait for the magic questions. I'm going to look, okay? The second one is if you have a moving violation and you are a regular Class C holder, you cannot be a CDL holder. But otherwise, if you hold a Texas license or you're active military or dependent, you might be eligible for a driver safety course option. And again, I will start looking and seeing, is this person qualified? And if you are, I'll offer you the program. And if you want to do it, then we do it. If you don't want to do it, well, nobody's going to force you. We can't force you to sit through a class. You have to do it intentionally. What I want to tell you about that, every ticket has a court cost and a fine, okay? And when I give you a number, like your ticket is $281, that's both of those numbers put together, okay? But they're when you piece them out, the court cost and the fine, the costs are set by the legislature. The fine is set by me as the judge. What happens in the driver safety course option is you pay the court cost, and we do have to collect it up front, and the fine goes on hold. If you turn in your driving record and your class, it's 2 things. Your Texas driving record, the right record, and your class, the right class for the right court, okay? That's us, the Temple Municipal Court. Then the case gets dismissed, and the fine that was waiting gets zeroed out. You don't pay it. So it's cheaper than paying your whole ticket. and it keeps it off your record. If you're qualified, which does require that you be on time to court, if you're qualified, that's a less expensive way to handle a moving violation and keep it off your record. Okay, so that's number 2. Number 3 is a deferred disposition. That's really a written agreement between you and me, okay, as the court. And the written agreement, and it will be in writing, will tell you how to gain a dismissal. Deferred means delay. Disposition means to make final. We delay finding you guilty, though you've pled guilty or no contest. And we put an order in place that allows you to gain a dismissal. And then you follow the bullet points on your order that tells you what to do. We've got to sort out the fines and costs. We've got to sort out whether there's a class due, a record due. You also can't reoffend, get arrested, or fail to come to court, or move without telling us. Usually that lasts, those conditions, up to about 180 days. At the end of the deferral, if you've met all the terms and conditions, I dismiss your ticket, and you are not found guilty, even though you've pled guilty or no contest. The one thing to know about a deferred disposition in Texas is that you can ask for a deferred from the judge. You may also ask from the prosecutor. You are not required to go to the prosecutor in a Class C court, although in an Class A or B or a felony court, you must get the prosecutor's approval. In some cases, you have to here, but in all cases, you can ask either the judge or the prosecutor. And if we need the prosecutor, there's times when we do, then we reach out to the prosecutor and check. Okay, so I'll let you know if that's the issue. But here's how you get a deferred in Texas courts. You say, Judge, may I have a deferred, guilty or no contest? You can plead guilty or no contest and ask. That's it. It's really simple. May I have a deferred? All right. So I'm supposed to assume that you knew that today when you logged in. Most people don't. Lawyers often don't either because they think they have to ask the prosecutor. And again, you can. But also, I'm supposed to assume that if you don't make that request, you don't want to do a deferred. And I don't really know a better way to tell you that than just to tell you that. So now you know and you have that tool. And then the fourth way to gain a dismissal in a Class C court in Texas would be if that court has a teen court program, and we do. So if you're in high school or middle school, I'm going to be pushing you toward teen court because it is the best option for you. And I say that as best because I am less likely to see you again if you complete teen court and gain a teen court dismissal, and I'm less likely to read about you. Okay. And what that means for me, what I'm saying there, is not the criminal sheets so much, although that too, truly, but also if it's driving, I'm less likely to read about death and dismemberment with regard to you. And every year I see someone in the paper that I've met. And it's really something that I hold dear because I think it's the best option. And I also know statistically it lowers the chance that I'm going to hear about a tragedy. Okay. And so that's really statistically true. And it's true for the driver safety course option too. That's why we incentivize it by making it less expensive. We know that when people do that work, they're not as likely to reoffend for a period of time. Okay. And there's just no way, it's not even really debatable at this point. You know, people have opinions, but when you look at the numbers, it works. Okay. So that's one reason I start forcing that. And what I know is that if a student just has a parent pay their ticket, I'm going to see them again, more than likely. It's literally 80%. And you almost flip that if they don't. I mean, if they complete it and the parent doesn't just pay it and walk away. So that's teen court, taking responsibility for yourself. And that works better. All right, so that's the 101. Those are the 4 ways to gain a dismissal. Those are the payment options too. And I will now just go ahead and start what we call the breakout room. And the breakout room is where we do the pre-trials. And I'm going to start because this person logged in first. I was watching Aliana Diab. You'll receive an invitation to go to the room, the breakout room, and have a conversation with Ms. Warren. And when that meeting or conversation is finished, you'll actually come back in here because I have a few parting remarks for you. Okay. All right. And after that will be Ms. Huggins, or Mr. Huggins, excuse me. And then I want to just ask quickly, I've got a couple of people on the phone. I need to identify folks, all right? I need to see who's here. So the first person is lovely long hair labeled U705AC. And I'm just going to ask you to, I don't have an audio for you, and I'm not sure if you can hear me. So I'm going to ask, can you log on and talk to me? That would be great. And if you could tell me your name, that would be even better. So while that's kind of, I sent a chat because I'm not hearing that person and I'm not seeing a way to engage them through their audio. I guess another question, because it might be one of the answers. If you are phone number 254 ending in 716, could you tell me your name, please?
John Jackson.
Miss Jackson, I've got you. I'm trying to find out the person with the phone number 716, ending in 716. Who are you?
My name is John Thomas.
John Thomas. Okay.
John, J-O-N.
Yes, I got it. And so you are 716?
Yes, ma'am.
Great.
Yeah, that's the last three of my phone number. Yes, ma'am.
Great. Are you also U705AC? Sometimes people are logged two ways. Is that also you?
I'm not sure, ma'am. I tried to join the Zoom link on the video, and it kept spinning and waiting, so I dialed the phone number and entered this way.
Okay,
so
that's great.
I'm not sure.
No, that'll work. That's fine. I guess my question is, are you still trying to get on the video, or are you
no, ma'am. I believe I shut the video Zoom off, I think.
Okay, that works fine. I'm going to go and I'll keep track of you now, okay?
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll be with you soon. And then I have a person labeled, it's a 512 number out of Austin, and the last three digits are 431. And I'm asking, could you unmute, please, and tell me your name?
Hello, my name is Gloria Wellborn.
Wellborn?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Gloria Wellborn. Got it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. All right. So I will go ahead and begin. Let me ask Ashlyn Baxter to unmute, and I'm pulling your file up. And Ms. Baxter, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you able to hear the kind of the 101 I gave at the beginning?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
And where do you go to school?
Temple High School.
Okay. The charge is in possession of tobacco by a minor. And I have the form that you sent to me, the form where you pled no or guilty and asked for teen court. Okay. Is that your plea today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We also sent you 3 forms. I believe it was 3. It's 5 pages long. And it started with something that looked kind of like this. And at the top, that's labeled juvenile magistrate warnings and forms. We emailed those to your email. Did you receive them?
Yes.
I don't recall getting those, Your Honor.
Okay. We emailed them yesterday. I'll wait. We're not rushing. And the clerk is letting me know we sent it to her email as well as your email.
Yes, I received something from Ms. Gonzalez yesterday.
Perfect. Yes, sir.
But yes, ma'am, then I have it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to walk you through them, okay? Are you able to, do you have a printer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you want to print that so that you can read along or follow? And Ashlyn, you are 15?
I'm sorry, what?
Are you 15 today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to where the printer is and see if it's printing, Your Honor.
Okay.
You go
Thank
ahead.
you. I don't
You
mind.
can follow along while if you choose to go ahead.
No, I'll wait for you, sir. Ashlyn, what year will you be this year? What grade?
I'm going to be a sophomore.
Okay, great. And Dad is Ralph?
Yes.
Okay, great. I see that on the screen. So I just thought that must be his name.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
I'm Judge Person, just to go back over it, right? And the charge is possession of tobacco by a minor. And you have pled guilty to that charge, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If you were to pay the ticket, the costs and fines are $181. I do want to talk to you about teen court today first. And I did get your request, and it is a good one for teen court. And Dad's getting that form. What I'll tell you is, that's the charge. You have the right under Texas law to hire an attorney to represent you, and you have the right to have an attorney present to advise you during interviews or questioning regarding this offense by any attorneys or peace officers or persons who represent the state. You have the right to remain silent. You're not required to make a statement, and any statement you make can be used against you in a court. And you have the right to stop any interviews or questioning at any time. And at the bottom, what I'm going to be asking you to do is to make a signature saying that you understand those rights. Okay.
Yes,
Do you feel like you can make that signature today?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Dad should have it in a moment for you to sign.
Can't see us. She can.
No, you are.
Hmm?
You are. The next one, and that'll be page 2, just says the address that you've provided. And I don't read people's address out online, but it's Oak Villa in Temple Drive. Is that a correct address?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so you're just going to say that's correct, and you check the top box, and you and your parent sign, and you tell me if it changes, you'll need to make a change with us. Okay? He might have had some trouble with the printer.
Yeah, whenever he was printing it, it said printer ink is low.
Oh, well, that's okay. We don't have to, we can go over it and we can sign it later. Right?
Because
So I'd be more interested in him being part of the conversation than worrying about that. Can we get him back in?
yeah, he's good. He got him.
Great.
Okay.
Okay. So, sir, just to recap, because we realized the printer had needed some attention. The first form are just your rights. And by entering a plea of guilty, that's a waiver of the right to remain silent. But I just had to advise Ashlyn of the right to remain silent and the right, if she's being interviewed or questioned by peace officers or attorneys that represent the state, if she's ever in that position, she has the right to end that discussion by just saying, I don't want to do this. You can stop that interview. And then when we plead guilty or no contest, we're actually just waiving that silence moving forward today. And she has expressed an interest in teen court. The second form confirmed the current address, and she confirmed it. I didn't read your address out to the group, but I just confirmed that was what was provided is still the case. And then the third form, labeled page 3 at the bottom, this is a notice of continuing obligation to inform the court of your address And that obligation only ends when your case is completed, and completion means either a zero balance or a dismissal, whichever is appropriate for your particular case. And so if you check at the beginning, that just says, I'm confirming her date of birth, January 13th, and that today you're 15, and that you are Ralph Baxter. And if I could have your address, sir?
3602.
I'm sorry, your date of birth, excuse me.
Oh, date of birth is 6 July of 1971, Your Honor.
Well, happy belated birthday. And
Thank you.
and then it says attention. And really what that all summarized means is there's just that ongoing duty to keep us aware of your address so that we can reach you regarding your case, ma'am, until it's completed, okay? And so signing that just says you understand you're going to need to keep that up to date. And then the final form, the fourth form at least, not the final form, just says that if we make an order today and you don't follow the order and we don't modify it because you communicate a problem, then you could be held in contempt of court, which in your case, because you're underage, Ashland, would just mean a hold being placed on your license until you brought the case up to date, okay? So the long story short, just get the order done and you don't have to worry about that. But I have to tell people the what ifs, okay? And the last pages, 5 and 6, long-winded legal explanation that I'm required to give you by law. And what that basically says is if you are under 17 and you receive a conviction in a court like mine, you can go to that court when you turn 17 and apply and have the case removed from your record, okay?
Yes, Your
Now,
Honor.
a lot of that is just limited because this offense coupled with teen court, we may not get to any of that, but I still have to do the what ifs, worst case scenarios, and I have to do it all in writing if you are under 17. So the charge of tobacco possession in Texas, the fines and costs, as I said, are $181. We're going to be looking at teen court first with your plea of guilty, but I also have to tell you that under Texas law, I am required to go ahead and order a tobacco awareness class. And there's a first offender program, but we're not even going to get to that program because we're going to start with teen court, which is a little more graceful. And with teen court, there is a $20 fee for the program. And I need to ask you first, can you pay that fee today?
Yes, Your Honor.
And we'll have to do that in cash, and we'll talk about that in a moment. The next thing is, I'm really going to go ahead and order that class, and I will want it pretty quickly. It's an online class, I think. Let me check with staff. Yes, it's online, okay, and you do have to pay for the class. But if you pay for the class, complete it, and get it turned in by August 17th, then I will dismiss the charge and waive the $181. Okay? Okay. So the next step we would take is you would come up to the court, sign for your documents. We'll give you the handout about how to find your class, okay? And receipt the $20, which does need to be in cash. Can we do that this morning?
Yes, we can, Your Honor.
Okay. So that's the next thing is y'all head over and we'll have it at the front desk, and you shouldn't be in the building more than about 10 minutes. But if you are at the front desk and you have any questions, the clerks usually can give you a response. And if it's something they're not allowed to answer, they can come get me. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, Ashlyn, do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And Dad, do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. And all this stuff that you read through and signed or didn't sign, it doesn't matter. Just bring it and you'll turn it in when you get everything else. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Y'all are free to get off the meeting unless you have anything else you want me to address for you.
No.
Okay. We'll see you shortly.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay. So moving forward, let me talk to Shania. I'm going to say it incorrectly. Shania Johnson. If you'll unmute, and while you unmute, I'm going to pull your file, okay? Just so give me 1 minute.
Jackson or Johnson?
Jackson. I'm sorry, Miss
Okay,
Jackson.
okay.
It is
Yes,
Jackson.
ma'am.
I have someone else named Johnson right below you on my list. I just
It's okay.
mixed two names together. So give me just 1 moment to look at these.
Yes, ma'am.
You already did it. Approved this yesterday. I don't mind looking at it with her online, of course. Okay, Miss Jackson, just a
Yes,
quick
ma'am.
review tells me that you need more time to get your community service done.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. Okay, I'm just making sure we have everything in order on our end. And
Okay.
maybe I could get, here it is, a copy of the order. I've got it. And it looks like everything's in here. So what do you think would work the best for you in terms of time?
That's
hold
why
on
I
a
want
minute.
to talk to you because I don't know. I just can tell you what I'm going through.
Sure.
I had to relocate, and so I'm having a hard time right now.
Yes.
And so
Did any, the relocation, was that based on a combination of factors, I'm sure, and I don't want you to have to air a lot of sensitive
Right.
information, but,
CBC.
okay. And so you're living in a transitional situation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is there like a supervisor there or is it just a separate place?
A separate place. Just
Okay.
me and the kids.
Okay. Can you write me just a little bit more? I got your note, okay, and I actually am glad you logged in today because I really wanted to know a little bit more, but it could
Yes,
be
ma'am.
sensitive and I don't want to air it all over the place. So could you write me just a letter about the circumstances? I might be able to either take some of the hours down or waive some of them, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And what I'm going to do is ask you to do that. And can you email it to us?
Yes, ma'am. And I want to show you this because I did do this, but I don't know if it applies for here.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Send me that too. I can count some of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
Can
ma'am.
you email that over to us?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If you can email me like a picture of that and just write an email to me, you don't have to use another form. Just say the
Okay.
judge wanted me to tell her what was going on, and we'll get back to you probably today or tomorrow. Okay?
Can I come in person?
Of course. I
Okay.
didn't know if you could.
Yes, ma'am. I prefer to come in person.
That'd be really good because then you know we have it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm going to give this a 2-week extension.
Thank you.
Just up front for us to sort all the paperwork out, and I'll have an answer for you as to what's required next. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you
Yes,
this morning.
Yes, ma'am. I'm on my way now.
Okay. Drive safely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson. Bye-bye. Ms. Warren and Ms. Diab,
Yes.
let me go ahead and check in with you.
Your Honor, Ms. Dehab did change her plea to no contest. There was some extenuating circumstances about her parking in that handicapped space. I talked to her father. At the time, she was a high school student.
Yes.
And so I don't know if she still qualifies for the teen court program maybe, but
She was a high school student on the date of the offense, then I do
Yes.
allow it. I
Mhm.
do allow it.
Okay, good. So I explained that to her, given that the ticket is $519. So if the court would accept her into that program, I think she'd be willing to dispense of the ticket that way.
Okay. All right. Ms. Diab.
Yes.
Can you just hold on a moment? I'm going to be right with you. I'm going to let Ms. Warren work with Walter Huggins, who is, I believe, yeah, there you are. And Mr. Huggins, if you're able to join by video, I think you'll find it a little more meaningful. But either way, I'm giving you a room assignment to room 1, and Ms. Warren will join you there. And after that meeting, you'll be coming back in to this space in order for me to just share parting final remarks with you, okay?
Okay, no problem.
Okay, thank you. Now, Ms. Dia, and you can unmute again. Would you, can you pay the $20 teen court fee today?
Yes, ma'am.
And I don't know the circumstances, whether you were helping someone or something like that, but normally what I would probably do, let me just check with the clerk, the case manager, and just hold on a moment. I would think that we might look at life skills. Yeah, so a short one. I can sentence you to do a class in life skills, okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to do the life skills class, and the due date is going to be August 17th. And I believe that's a 10-hour class, right? She can do 10 to 12, and that way she can pick. I have several classes that you can choose from. And so your order is going to say 10 to 12-hour class, and that gives you, some of them are 10 and some of them are 12, and I don't see a big difference between the two, but I don't know their affordability because those change. So it can be up to 12 hours, but no less than 10 hours. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you can then just pick, because then that gives you some choices. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. And can you come by the court sometime today?
Yes, ma'am.
And around what time should we look for you?
Around like 12, 11.
Okay. Any time in there is just fine. Okay. And they'll have everything at the front desk for you. All right.
Thank you.
And if you have any questions, definitely reach out. There's a case manager for teen court who you can call if you need to. And the other thing I'll tell you is, as soon as you get your course done, bring it to us. We'll receipt you and finalize you. You don't need to wait till the due date. You can just honor before. Okay. The sooner
Okay,
the better.
thank you.
Get it over with, right? And that's what I'm going to require in order to do your dismissal. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right. Thanks. And so moving forward, Shalonda Simmons, let's have you. Are you still here? Hi.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, very good. There you are. It says Shalonda's iPhone, so I was looking for Simmons. Okay. Let me catch up with you and pull your file.
Yes, ma'am.
How are you this morning, Ms. Simmons?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine. Okay, let me just double check in on these. I did get the paperwork you submitted, and I can't do the driver safety course because we're just too late. These are from 07, and I did receive a plea of guilty on all three cases, and then some income information, and I'm going to review that. Those are your pleas, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me just make a note. And then I will ask you if you can raise your right hand. Thank you. Oh, there you go. Do you swear or affirm that the information you provided on the form is true, correct, and accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Are you the only income to your home?
Yes, ma'am.
Your daughter living with you? Yes.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Is the other parent helping?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Is that formal in the form of child support?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is that amount?
It's 150 like every 2 weeks, and one is 173.
Okay.
Like he'll
Is-
pay 1 week. I mean, well, he'll pay 2 weeks, 150, 140, something like that. But then the next 2 weeks, they take 170. So
Okay. And that's your only child?
I have 3 other children, but they're grown.
Okay. Great. And they're not living with you or anything like that?
No, ma'am.
Okay. How about a car payment, a cell phone, anything like that?
Yes, I pay $272 for a car note. I pay about $90 for my cell phone. Pay $120 for car insurance.
How about,
About
go ahead.
and about maybe $140 light bill.
Okay. And how about like transportation costs, gas, etc.?
I do pay, yes, ma'am. I say about $60 a month for gas. So I don't go nowhere but to work at home.
Cable, internet bill?
No, ma'am.
You have any like unpaid medical bills that you're paying on?
I do, but they're old.
Okay.
None recent.
Okay. What else do you have that I didn't ask you about, like other bills? Because I'm trying to figure out whether, how to do this order. And
I mean, that's about it. I don't pay any rent because I live with a friend.
okay, so I think that I'm showing here, we could do a payment plan. I do want to do a little bit of a reduction. Give me just a quick moment. On that
Yes, ma'am.
You had proposed in what you gave me to pay $100 a month. I'm showing that you could, but I don't feel like I have a real grasp of your finances. I mean, I'm open to your thoughts. Is that doable?
Um,
Does your income go up and down, or is it steady? That's probably another.
Yes, ma'am. It's up and down.
Okay, so what I can do is set it at $50 a month, and if you want to pay more, you can pay more when you are able, okay? And just get it done faster. The sooner the better, because there's a hold on the license, and I'd like to release that. I'm going to take some of your fines off, just based on need, and give you a different, total number. And then I will of course recall your warrant. And but the hold is there till we're done. So and then I need to ask if you can come by and sign for your payment plan today, or I see you might be in Dallas. I can email it to you. If you're able to get it printed and sign for it, I can do it through the email.
Yes, ma'am. If you could, Miss Judge Parsons.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, yes, I can do that. The email that we set up the meeting for today, can you receive the documents at that email?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what's the best day of the month to do payment?
I would like it close to the end. I say the 25th of every month, because the beginning of the month I pay all my bills with that. So I really don't have much left out of my check in the beginning. So
Sure.
I mean, with my end check, I'll be able to do it without.
Okay, the 25th is fine. You can phone it in, you can pay online, you can mail a check, don't mail cash. I discourage money orders because they seem to get lost, but we do take them, we take them, and we do take checks, okay? So you can always call the clerk and get more information. Online and by phone, that's great, but there are fees. So I just want to warn you about those. And the clerk can talk to you about that if you have questions.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If I can get your signature on the payment plan today, then I can recall your warrants today, okay?
Yes, ma'am. And I go to work, Miss Judge, at 3 o'clock, and I can get it printed out at work. Is that okay?
That's fine, as long as we can get it by about 4:30.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
All
So do
right.
I print it, sign it, and then take a picture and email it back to you? Or
Yes.
would you like for me to fax it back?
Faxing would be a clearer picture.
Okay.
But whatever works for you. Just if you fax or email, call and make sure we received it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Ms.
you,
Jackson.
Judge. Yes,
All right.
ma'am. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Warren, you've been talking with Walter Huggins, and Mr. Huggins, you can unmute as well. It'd be great to see your face if you're capable to get that
There you
going.
go.
Great. And Ms. Warren, are we heading to trial or are we heading to resolution?
Your Honor, we are headed to resolution, but there's some information that I need.
Okay.
And Mr. Huggins has agreed to get that to me before his next court date.
Okay. Our next court date, Mr. Huggins, is September 8th at 3:00. If you're getting information over to her, you are able to drop it by the clerk's desk and they can scan it to her attention if you want to do that. You can
Yes, ma'am.
email it, fax it, or bring it by, okay?
Okay.
Otherwise, as long as the case is pending, just call the day before or the morning of. September 8th at 3 is when we'll expect to see you if it's not resolved by then, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
And
You
thank you, you too. And Ms. Warren, that actually concludes your docket. You had a very short docket today. So
Okay.
thank you for your time and you're free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay. And then I'm moving forward. All right. And I have to talk next to, let's see, let me find her. I believe Kira Johnson. Ms. Johnson, let me get your case pulled up. Give me just a moment. Okay. Okay. All right, Ms. Johnson, and what is your age today?
I'm 16 years old.
Okay, good morning. The charge is a red light charge from January 25th, 2021. And the fines and costs, if you paid them today, are $269. I received your plea of guilty and you were asking to make payment within 30 days. Give me just a quick moment. The DIC, it doesn't add any fees, right? And there aren't any fees that are mandated besides that would prevent us from doing teen court. Okay. Are you enrolled in school?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Where do you go to school?
Brown High School.
What grade are you in?
I'm going to be a senior.
Okay. Teen court is not an option that you checked off, but it is an option for your case, and you may not have known about it. Are you interested in doing teen court and gaining a dismissal?
We were trying to pay it to take care of the her license issue.
My license is suspended.
Okay, I don't know if it's suspended or if I just have a hold. I do have a hold for non-appearance. Once we clear the case, my hold goes away. As far as whether it's suspended, that can trigger a suspension. Other things can too, and I can't give legal advice, but I can tell you the best place for information on that is going to be the DPS website. As far as resolving the hold, if you did teen court, there's a $20 fee and a class. You get the fee paid today, you get the class turned in on time, on or before, the sooner the better, August 17th. If you turn it in earlier, I would, as quickly as I receive it, I would work on releasing the license and you would gain a dismissal of the charge.
And what is the teen court? It's just a class?
It is.
Do that.
Okay.
Okay. Can you pay the $20 fee today?
Yes, ma'am.
You'll have to come by the court to pay that in cash and sign. And then your class, we will have class information. The latest you could turn it in to get credit would be the 17th of August. You can turn it in early to release your license. How does
Okay,
that sound?
that's good.
Okay, then we can expect you in today.
Yes, ma'am.
In.
Like at around 12.
Okay. We will see you then. Everything will be at the court, at the front desk with the clerk, okay?
Okay.
It
Does she-
will include information of how to find your class. It's an online class. You'll pay for the class, but if you turn in everything, you'll save the $269.
Okay.
Okay?
Do I need her to do that, to turn in that?
I need an adult because she's 16. I need an adult signature.
Okay,
Will noon work?
yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I want to just check. I don't see these folks, but I want to make sure I'm right. Oh, no, I do see one person. No. Let me just look real quickly. Esteban Martinez, I see you and you are next. There we go. Great.
I'm here.
So the charge here is possession of tobacco by a minor. I know you were online when I was doing those papers with the first person, but I did want to ask you a few things. First of all, did you understand at the beginning of this conversation or at the beginning of court today the different pleas of guilty, not guilty, and no contest?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I have in front of me a form where you've pleaded guilty to the offense. Is that your plea today?
Yes, ma'am.
And you did check off teen court, which I agree probably the best option. I can do it. You've done teen court before, but it was not a related type of charge. It was a moving violation, and you were successful. So I can allow teen court for possession of the tobacco charge. There is a $20 teen court fee. Can you pay that fee today?
Yes, ma'am.
And you'll have a class due in a month on life skill. Is it a tobacco class? A tobacco class due August 17th.
Okay.
And then the other thing I need to get from you today is your signature and your parent's signature on the order that I'm making. So your parent will need to come with you to court. And then
Yes, ma'am.
also, let me just highlight back through these forms, okay? The first one, did you receive those from us? We emailed them yesterday.
I believe I did, but we did not have a chance to copy it.
Okay, it's okay. We're gonna have them here at the desk too. But I just want to review with you that your plea is a waiver of your silence and we're moving forward. That's the first one. The second one is just to confirm that the address that we have on file on 6th Street is still your address.
Yes, ma'am.
The next one is just to keep your address current until your case is completed. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And who is your parent today?
Beverly Pollitt,
Can you spell the last name?
Pollitt.
Okay. And Miss Pollitt, I hate to ask you, but I do need to get your date of birth.
What's that?
Your date of birth, please.
4/12/73.
And y'all will sign that when you get here today. Just saying, you know, you have a duty to keep your address until your case is completed. Okay. And then you have one that just says, if you don't complete your order, I put a hold on your licensing. You can't get it until you're done. I just talked to someone who did that. And then the final form just tells you if you wind up being convicted on this charge, which I don't anticipate, because if you complete teen court, well, you won't. Okay, you'll be dismissed. But if you don't finish, then you get held in contempt and I hold your license till you're done, okay?
Mhm.
And honestly, that would mean payment and doing the same class. So just get it done and cross it off the list, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And all that last form says is, if you get convicted instead, you would have to come here when you turn 17 in order to have it removed from your record.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So a class and $20 and a dismissal.
Thank you.
Payment of the $20 today and the class due August 17th, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And when can y'all come by to sign your forms and pick up your documents?
Within the hour.
Okay. We will have it at the front desk for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Any questions?
No, ma'am.
Thank you.
Have a nice
you.
day.
Okay. Moving right along. Let's see. We did Shalonda Simmons and Robin Galliano or Galliano. Good join the video.
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Okay. I've got some people coming in. There you are. Okay. So we have two charges. They're from 2018. And I do have the plea request. And I just want to confirm that on the speeding, you were pleading guilty and requesting a payment plan. And on the violating the promise to appear not coming to court, requesting a payment plan. I know that you said you didn't have any notice of the requirement, but the reality is that on the ticket, they gave you a court date and you signed saying, yes, I know I have to appear, and you didn't. And that's the result. Okay.
I understand.
Yeah. As far as leniency, I can look at that, but first I'm just confirming the plea of guilty on both of those.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then right now, you're the manager of a store, but you make $300 every 2 weeks. Help me understand that.
It's a store that, one lady owns. She just owns one shop. She just gives me the title of the store manager, but like she's there every day, and it's a really small store. It's she sells candy, like 20, maybe. Yes. No, that would be every 2 weeks because I really only work like Thursdays and Saturdays if she needs me.
And you're living with your family?
Yes, ma'am.
I still show that we could do payments. I can reduce some of the fees on the VPTA. That's the
Okay. Thank you very much.
Drop that.
I'm sorry, you keep breaking up, like going in and out.
Yeah, when I turn and talk to her,
Oh, okay.
sometimes it doesn't pick that up perfectly, but I'm just telling her what to enter.
Yes, ma'am.
But thank you for the feedback. Okay, yeah, that's okay. So I'm looking at $50 a month.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
What's a good day to do that?
On the 5th of each month.
Okay. Can you make a payment today by any chance?
She should be paying me this Friday, so tomorrow.
Okay. I guess I'm wondering, I don't mind, beginning $50 on the 5th. That's 3 weeks away though. And that's not a Friday.
I can do it. Well, yeah, I can do it tomorrow.
Are you paid every 2 weeks beginning tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't we do this? Tomorrow, let's do $25.
Okay.
And then let's just do that every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Because then it lands on your pay date.
Thank you.
So I'm just making a note.
Yes, ma'am.
And then I'll need a signature today, so I can email that all to you. Can you sign it and email it back to me today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we will send that to the email that we used to set up today. And have we done the reduction yet? Okay. I'm going to reduce your fines a little bit just based on low income.
Thank you.
And we're working on that, but it should go down a few $100s. That's about right. And we'll have that final number on what we mailed to you, because right now it's at $872, and I would anticipate it dropping to around the 600 mark, okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
Help a little bit. And then if
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
able, we don't charge interest, of course, and I will recall your warrants today, but if you're able to pay sooner, I can release that license faster.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
If you run into trouble making payment, you have to let us know so that we don't go back to warrant. Warrant fees, when they add $50 per case. That
Okay.
would just put you 2 months behind every time. So if you
Okay.
run into trouble, you reach out, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, any questions?
No, ma'am.
Just make sure we receive it today. So call, when you email it back or fax it, call and make sure we have it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Gadiana.
Have a good day.
You too. Okay. I had someone go in and out, and Miss Meyer came in at the last there. I let you back in, or let you into the meeting. I did not see you at the beginning. Miss Meyer, where are you? Hi.
Hi, I'm right here.
Okay, were you on earlier? I didn't see you.
No, I wasn't on earlier. I actually slept through it. I work at
Okay.
during night, so it's kind of hard to wake up in the morning.
Okay. Not a good habit for court, but I'll keep you in the meeting. Just gonna need to wait for your turn, okay? All right, and I'll visit with you then. Normally juveniles I take earlier, but I want to go ahead and give credence to folks who've been waiting. And I do have, let's see, Ms. Wellborn. And let me get your file pulled up while you unmute it if you could. Okay. Ms. Wellborn? You'll have to, I think I've got you in on your phone.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you?
Okay.
Okay. So we're on a deferred, which is a way to gain a dismissal. And you probably remember that document.
Yes, ma'am.
And we had community service due as a condition of that deferred back at the beginning of the month on the 6th of July. Have you been able to finish those hours?
Yes, so I've been doing my community service in Temple at the Feed My Sheep.
Yes.
And I've only have 11 and a half hours. I'm supposed to have 14 hours. But the whole reason the situation with the insurance happened is, like I said, my car situation has been on and off. And I've been trying to go to work in Austin. I live in Waco and babysit my granddaughter all at the same time. But anyways, so I just have 2.5 hours to do. So I was asking the court, you judge, if I could have at least 1 more week to get that finished.
Yes, I can do that. I think I need to extend your deferred a little bit longer to give us that more time. Okay? And
Yes,
because I'd like to give a bigger amount of time. And I also need time to follow up and check on it. So why don't we say that we're going to extend your deferred, the first paper that is the the deferred order. I'm going to move that. It ends September 7th. We're going to shift that to end October 12th.
Okay, thank you.
And then your community service is going to be due September 16th.
September 16th?
Yes. And that just
Okay.
gives you like a big chunk of more time, so to
Yes,
speak.
Judge, thank you.
And that way, with all the coming and going that you have happening, maybe we can just get it done and not have to keep coming back, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And that way, because I don't have signatures on this. And what you turned in didn't have signatures. So I still need to get documentation that feed my sheep, I know
Oh, yes,
they
I have
they
the
don't want
paperwork right
to.
here, but I wanted them to finish when I go back for my hours.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna bring it to you if that's okay. And I'm gonna get
Yeah.
that done as soon as possible.
yeah, that's not unusual. I just wanted to remind you. Okay.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay, we're going to email the new documents to you. They're just modified. Okay. And we'll use the email that we used to set the case up today. And then what I'll say is just get it turned in and you should be fine.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. You won't see me again, I promise you.
What's that?
You won't see me again, I promise you.
Well, if I need to, I need to. It's not a problem. I mean, I appreciate that, but don't get embarrassed if something happens. Just reach out.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Welburn.
Have a great day.
You
Thank
too. Bye-bye. So moving to Alexander Rumsey, you'll have to stop moving around for a minute, Mr. Rumsey, so we can visit, okay? There we go. And if you'll unmute, that's going to help us both a lot.
Okay, here we go.
Hi. I did get, I got a payment application from you and that's all. So let me just walk you through it, okay? You are Alexander Rumsey, excuse me, correct?
Rumsey. Yes.
Okay. And the charge is June 18th, 2021, speeding charge, 98 and a 65.
Oh, thought he said it was 80. But
I
ma'am.
pulled the ticket and looked, but I don't think so. How are you pleading to the charge?
Guilty. I was trying to get a payment plan going with you guys.
Yes, we can do that. You requested $100 a month. Do you want to do it that way?
If I can do it that way, if I can get a little reduction, that'd be nice too. I'm currently paying other off as well. So last month was not my month.
Okay. Are you paid every 2 weeks in your job?
You said what, ma'am?
Are you paid every 2 weeks in your job?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, I did confirm it. It is 98 and a 65. That's what he wrote. So what day of the week are you paid?
I'm paid every 2 weeks on a Friday.
Friday.
No, on a Tuesday. My bad.
Tuesdays.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Were you paid this week or are you getting paid next week?
Next week.
Okay. What I could do is just do $25 every 2 weeks, starting next week.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, and is Tuesday a good day to do the payment or Wednesday?
You said what, ma'am?
Is Tuesday the best day to do that or Wednesday?
Wednesday would be good.
Okay, the 21st, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, I know you're out of town elsewhere. I can email a payment plan to you, but I need your signature back on that plan today. Yes?
Okay. Yes. No,
Okay.
I don't live in Temple. I stay over in Dallas.
Yeah, I know that. That's why I'm saying that you could do it through email.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So you would email back what I'm going to send you. Stop for just a moment. You need to stop for a moment. I know you're working, but pause. I'm going to email you the documents that say you're paying $25 every 2 weeks, beginning next Wednesday. You're going to sign that document and send it back to us today.
Sure.
You can email it or fax it, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And once you do that, then you're not going to be at risk. If we get that from you, you've got to call and make sure we got it. And once that's happened, then you don't have to worry about warrants, okay?
Sure. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So you're going to look for that in your email. When can you get that sent back to us?
What time do I have until?
4 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get it by then.
Thank you. Okay. I'll let you go.
All right. Have a good day.
You too. Working. Somewhat rude, but we'll live through it. All right. So John Thomas, you're on the phone and I want to visit with you.
Yes, ma'am.
How are you
Yes,
today,
ma'am.
sir?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Let me get your file pulled up. Just give me a quick moment.
Okay.
Okay. There's a speeding charge allegation from June 16th. And I do have all the information that you sent in. And you did plead no contest to that charge. Is that your plea today?
Yes, ma'am. I'm just throw myself on the mercy of the court and ask for community service because I'm unemployed and have zero income at this time due to medical reasons.
Yes, I did get your information and I can order community service. Of course, that gives me, it's the right thing to do and I'll order it. But I do want to ask you, do you think that your doctor would approve of you doing the community service?
I'm not sure. I mean, I have an extreme vitamin D deficiency, and it caused osteoporosis. So if I take a fall, I'm breaking something.
Right.
But
So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. When do you see your doctor? When do you see your physician again?
Going to see him on the 4th of August.
Okay. Your community service is not due until the 16th of September. So ask your physician, and if your physician says that you can't do community service, then you need to get him or her to put it in writing and get it to me by that date. If he or she says you can do it, then either get it done or let me know if you need more time. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
But either way, we're at least communicating minimally no later than September 16th about this, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now we're going to
should I just come into the office after I see him then to the front and go from there, or
if you have a note from your doctor, you can just swing by the court and bring it to us.
Okay.
That's the fastest way to do it.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So I have paperwork for you that you can take to your doctor and show him or her what we're requiring. Okay. And I can email that to you or I can leave it at the front desk for you here.
Yeah, I can come and pick that up.
Okay. Sometime this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. I'll have that at the front desk for you no later than 4:45 because we close at 5, but at your convenience today, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, Ms. Meyer, a little bit more awake? So you are 16 today, is that correct?
Yes.
And where do you go to school?
Temple High School.
Where are you working?
McDonald's on 31st Street.
What grade are you going to be in?
I'm going to be a junior.
Great. So the charge we have is 20 over the posted speed limit speeding, June 25th. I received a guilty plea and a request for teen court, which I would grant. Is that your plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And What I require for teen court in this case will be a $20 fee that needs to be paid today. Can you swing by and pay that by noon?
Yes, ma'am.
And then you're going to have a class, and that class is going to be due by August 17th. And we'll have all the paperwork for how to find your class with your paperwork at the front desk. And if you get it turned in, then we'll do the dismissal. Okay?
Okay.
You have any questions?
No, ma'am.
You know where we're located, right? It's where you came before.
Yeah.
Okay. So when should we look for you?
Today.
Right, around what time?
Like 1.
1 o'clock would work. 1-ish, okay?
All right. Thank you.
All right, now just don't sleep through it. You got to get it turned in, okay?
Wait, I'm like,
Okay, all right. I'm having a little fun, but you know, it's a what you missed at the beginning is that folks who don't do teen court, you know, you're in the top group for death and dismemberment on the roadway in Texas, and I just want to interrupt that so nothing bad happens to you. So I want it sooner rather than later. Okay. All right.
okay,
Okay. Thank you, Miss Meyer. Come get your stuff.
okay.
You too.